Okay, before we get into this, Sarai was Sarah, and I was calling her handmaiden Rebecca as Hagar, so excuse me, I'm so bad with names. But this is the story of Abram, who became Abraham, who had his first child with Hagar, that was Ishmael, okay? And then he had his other child with his wife, Sarah. I think it was Sarai, and then she became Sarah. His name was Abram, he became Abraham. Don't ask me why at this moment in time, but exchanged the name Rebecca. Her name is Hagar. Like I said, I'm horrible with names. But yeah, this is the story, and this is one of my big pet peeves when it comes to the Jews and the Muslims and the family feud, and it's still going on. Oh my God. So here we go. Oh my goodness. Well, today I'm going to get in all kinds of trouble again. I'm going to talk about one of my all-time pet peeves. And what is that? This idea that Israel can do no wrong. Okay? So you have the Israelis against the Palestinians. Okay? The Christians, or the Jews against the Muslims, because these are not Christians, okay? They do not believe in Christ. They do not believe he was the Messiah. They're still waiting for the Messiah to show up, okay? So why is this my pet peeve? Because Christianity runs around putting Israel on a pedestal. And why Jesus came to reform it. He came to reform Judaism, and they rejected him. Okay? So why is this important? Well, all of this comes back to the major family feud that's been going on for how many centuries now? It started with Abram, who became Abraham. Now, he was married to Sarai, and they were an old couple, and she was not getting pregnant. So she sends her handmaiden into him and says, well, have a child with her. Well, they have a child together, okay? And then what happens? Then his wife Sarai gets pregnant. And then she's jealous of the handmaiden. What was her name? Rebecca? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But she has her child, and then she's jealous. Okay? So Abram, which became Abraham, is getting no peace, because now his wife Sarai says, get the hell out of here. Get her out of here. Okay? So what happens? Abraham sends her out into the desert, into the wilderness. She goes off, and they become the Muslim nation with the Prophet Muhammad. So this is nothing more than a long-standing family feud. Dad liked you best. Okay. So, it's, again, I just see it as a long-standing freaking family feud, and everybody is up on it and putting Abraham and Sarai on a pedestal. When he got this other woman pregnant, sent her out in the desert because his wife was bitchy and upset and jealous. And so all of this comes back to that. And this idea that, again, Israel can do no wrong. Now, there's nothing in there that says that Israel is, the chosen ones always, because they rejected Christ when he came, okay? And when they rejected him, that's why he says, don't cast your pearls before swine, because they will turn and rend you. He went to the others. Okay, he went to the others because he was rejected by the powers that be at that time. So, yeah, it was like, get over it, people. This is a long-standing family feud. And you see, just this community that's all supposed to be law-based. And again, Christ came and said, look, if you're following the path of love, then everything is fulfilled. But, well, I'm not going to get into Judaism at this point in time, but they are all believers of the book and the law and the Torah, and, that even they have separate dishes for meats and separate dishes for this, and sometimes they have 2 dishwashers because they can't be, you can't do anything after sundown on Friday. You can't lift, you can't do, so yeah, I'm not even going to get into all of that now in the Hasidic community. I have some pet peeves with that as well. But if you want to be in the law and judged by, then that's what you'll be judged by, the law. And Christ was the fulfillment of the law, okay? He said, I'm not doing away with any of the law, but if you are a person of love, you will naturally do what you're supposed to do. Okay? So, on that note, I'm going to leave this here, but this is one of my big pet peeves. Why they continue, these Christians, these evangelical, evil angel churches, keep trying to uphold Israel in whatever they do, okay? And boo-hoo the Muslims and the Palestinians and allow these people to just steal lands and do all of this stuff when this is really nothing more than a long-standing family feud of Abram, who became Abraham, who had the wife Sarai, and she got pissed off, after she was the one that sent the handmaiden in to get pregnant by her husband, and then she gets pissy about it, okay, and sends her off into the desert, and they become the Muslim community. Oh, this is why when you understand all these things, you leave the religiosity, dogmatic, brouhaha drama of the history of Israel, which is the Old Testament. It's all just the history of Israel. And you lead that into the New Testament, into the good news, and you leave all that drama behind. Okay, but you still have people taking sides on this family fight, the family feud. Okay, there may be people that think I've got a very perverted view, very skewed views of things, but this is my view on it. So on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll see you online.